Coming to you from deep within the heart of Texas in our secret underground bunkers, it's the New Republic Radio Show. Welcome everybody to the New Republic's Friday Show. Yep, we got a great show coming out for you today. Lots of different things. I think there'll be a little bit of something for everybody on today's show. I hope you guys are having a great day and getting ready for the weekend. I know most of you are, some of you are not, but that's all right. Before you get ready for this weekend, I just want to drop a little knowledge on you guys and gals and just maybe help give you a little something to think about on this weekend, if not at least to talk about. But that's all right. We're getting ready and loading these knowledge bombs up, getting the planes ready, getting the targets set. It's not going to be long till we start dropping them. All right, guys. Well, as many of you know, today is the kickoff for the Olympics. The ceremony's underway today, but honestly, I don't care. Yeah, you heard me. I really don't care about Olympics. So on my show, you're not going to hear much as far as the Olympics are concerned, unless there's any scandals or something about steroids or who knows, whatever, performance-enhancing drugs. That's interesting to me. So if something like that turns up, well then I'll talk about it. If not, yeah, I really don't care. Unless the only sport that has OLY at the beginning of it is the Mr. Olympia. That's the only one that I care about, and that has to do with bodybuilding. So that has nothing to do with the Olympics. So that's pretty much how I feel. So you can get mad at me or whatever. You can call in and yell at me. That's cool. It's just not my thing. Most of the sports that they have at the Olympics, they're very old school sports, and they're really only done and used specifically for the Olympics. And until they maybe put American football in the Olympics, I really won't be watching. The only thing in all of the Olympics that I would actually care to watch would be the weightlifting. And yes, I realize I'm like in the 1% of everybody that would actually, want those of the sports that anybody would want to see there. I realize I'm in the 1% of that, and that's okay. I'm just different. Who cares? Anyway, moving on. Report: Russia in talks with Cuba to set up a naval base. Well, that should make you think twice, because we've already had years and years and years of problems with Cuba and Russia, and now they're talking about putting a naval base there, and also Russia's trying to expand. They're trying to put some naval bases in about 3 other spots too. But this just kind of goes to highlight the problems that we're having with our foreign affairs, and that our foreign policy is just simply not working. Russia now, with Putin at the controls, now they're getting a more sure footing. And back when we had a different president, not saying names, Russia was actually removing naval bases, but under this particular president, they seem to be setting up naval bases. So I don't know. To my liberal friends, I hope somehow that y'all enjoy that, and maybe y'all think that that's a victory, but I don't know how you could. Anyway, EU plans drone network to nab illegal immigrants. So we have European countries getting mad at us for our issues with illegal immigration, but yet they say all these horrible, mean things about it, but then they have their own problems, and they're setting up drone networks to nab illegal immigrants. They are having the worst problem. Honestly, it's even worse than us, because they have certain cities and even certain portions of their countries that are actually being taken over by illegal immigrants. And immigration in general, even if it is legal. But this just goes to show you, more drones in the air is just not a good thing, because that's the thing. Right now, they're being used to nab immigrants, illegal immigrants, but tomorrow, once that's done, or once they're happy with that, what are they going to use that drone force to do? Very seldom, once you lose a freedom, does a government agree to give it back to you. So, I don't know. Just another thing. The world is just developing. Things are changing. This is stuff that you're not going to hear in the media, in the regular media, because it's not part of the narrative. It's not part of the narrative of big government. Everything's okay. Just give us your money and be happy. That's not part of the narrative, so they're not going to be talking about this stuff. Man arrested for Washington. This is going. This is going to ensure that you never, ever use a public drinking fountain. Man arrested for washing genitals in public drinking fountain. Yes, there you go. You're welcome. Now, no matter how thirsty you are, if you're in the middle of the desert and there's a public drinking fountain, you won't use it. And you're quite welcome. It was enjoyable for me. 979-31-TALK-6. 979-31-TALK-6. You want to get mad at me about the Olympics? Go right ahead. Give me a call. Poll. Romney pulls to 5-point lead. Same 5-point lead that Obama had at this point in 2008. So I know a lot of you people are, you're for Romney or you're for Obama, whatever, but this is just interesting because you're not really seeing this in a lot of news networks, and I just think it's funny, and it's just more to highlight again the type of news that you're not going to get when you're watching the alphabet networks, the ABCs, the NBCs, the CBSs. Hopefully, I honestly hope that Romney's, will win. Is he just this 10 times better person than Obama as far as president goes? No. But Obama has just this whole, communistic, socialistic agenda that really it's not helpful for anybody. It doesn't help the United States. His world outlook is just distorted and it's causing problems. And Romney would just be a better situation in the White House. It wouldn't be optimal, I'll definitely say that, but it'll be much better than what we have at the moment. Report. Obama's "you didn't build that" gaffe won't bring back teleprompter. Now, this story happened to be more about the fact that he's not going to be using his teleprompter much, and that's just because so many people have ragged on him so hard about the fact that pretty much every speech that he did for most of his presidency was to a teleprompter. It was so bad that he was mispronouncing words, even simple words. It just made him look stupid, and it's whatever, but that's really not the important part. The important part is the whole that you didn't build that thing. Now, most of you've heard it if you've been watching my page, and then of course the other news outlets like the independent outlets. Then all about the "you didn't build that" gaffe, where he's basically telling business people that you didn't build your business. The government helped you do that. A teacher helped you do it. Somebody else basically did it all for you. And it basically goes back to his belief system. And what I mean by that is his world outlook. Obama, unfortunately, was raised by a very radical family and family members and friends of the family. I mean, he was just exposed to that 1960s very extremist, hate the rich, the poor, the poor are the answer to everything, redistribution of wealth. And the thing is that's his whole outlook. That's his whole answer to everything. His answer to the world's problems are redistribute the wealth, get rid of the wealthy, kill the middle class, kill the wealthy, give it all to the poor, and let the poor take over. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't work. I mean, that's what happened. That's what they tried to do in China. That's what they tried to do in the USSR, Cuba, many failed countries. That's what they tried to do basically in Greece. And that's the reason why Greece is failing at the moment. But going back in his history, if you go back to 1965, Barack Obama Sr., his father, wrote an article in a local paper talking about nothing stopping the government from taxing 100% of your income. And what the question was is if a country has a small population with a large percentage of income, what does one do about that in order to basically right that wrong, as it were? And what his reply was the fact that, hey, the government, there's nothing restricting the government from taxing 100% of your income, as long as it's going to the people. So again, I'm just going back to a lot of you people, especially my leftist friends, that's great. I know you love Obama and that's good. But have you not really thought about what's behind his ideas and the reason why he has these ideas? It's because he was raised in this very radical upbringing of, redistribution of wealth, re-education, basically making the rich poor and the poor rich. And what does it lead to? It leads to another type of inequality. Inequality by any means is a bad thing. You know, sure, do the rich people need to help the poor? Absolutely. Nobody's not saying that. But taking away all of the money from the rich and the middle class and giving it to the poor does not make any more sense than hoarding it all for yourself as just a rich person and not doing anything to help anybody. Neither one of those ideas makes sense. And you've got to understand where Barack Obama's ideas come from. He was raised in that type of culture. He went to school in that type of culture. His friends in school were all radical communists. His professors were all radical communists. His friends after college were all radical communists. So I'm sorry. I mean, do you think I'm lying? If that's what it is, please call me, 979-31-TALK-6. Please call me because I have the sources. I can prove it. If you think I'm lying, call me. If you don't think I'm lying, if you think I'm telling a little bit of the truth, man, read. Do some research. Read Obama's book, Dreams of My Father. So many people out there, you blow me away. All my leftist friends, you blow me away. You support Obama, but you've not read his book. Read his book. That's all I'm asking. Read the words that the man wrote so that you can understand who you're voting for. This guy does not give a crap about you. All he wants is your money and your vote so that he can have power. That's it. Because he has this perverted world outlook that basically, you know, he just wants to be sitting on top and everybody else to be poor and broke at the bottom. That's how communism works. And he can call it whatever he wants. He can label it something different, but that's what it is. Seriously, why are you people voting for him? Read his freaking book. It's that easy. You can get it on sale for, I think I saw it for $1.99. What's holding you back? I know in Obama's economy, $1.99 is a lot of money, I know. But if you need that $1.99, I'll give it to you just so that you can educate yourself. Anyway, we'll move on. DEMS try slipping gun control measure into cybersecurity bill. Would make it illegal to transfer or possess large capacity feeding devices such as gun magazines, belt-fed stripes, and drums of more than 10 rounds of ammunition, with the exception of 22 caliber rimfire ammunition. Number one, not allowing yourself to have more than 10 rounds of ammunition is completely stupid. Look at these poor farmers that live in Texas, okay, on the border, all right? When they call the police, it's like an hour, two, before somebody can get out there. The military's not doing anything. The police aren't doing anything. If you restrict them that ability, all they have is 10 rounds at a time. When they're having to deal with cartel, people with full automatic weapons, okay? Full automatic weapons can shoot as fast as they want. They have all the drums that they want. And then here's another secret. I'm going to let you people know something here. Drums are not that great. Okay, just like the instance in that horrible massacre in Denver at the movie theater, the drum, what did it do? It jammed. And I'm glad it jammed because that probably saved some more people. But here's the thing. As an owner of, I've had those type of things before. And let me tell you what, drums are about useless because they do jam a lot. You know, now the 30-round clips and stuff like that, those usually don't because they're straight, you know, up and down clip. They're not a more complicated round cylinder. You know, and the problem with the cylinders is they generally do stick. So I'm not that big a deal. If you want to buy a drum, that's fine. It's more of a novelty item, okay? Now, the drums that the military has, and 9 times out of 10, you just can't get your hands on it unless you do something illegal. The drums that they have do actually work well, but the thing is you've got to load them up. It takes forever to load them. And then again, the reliability of them is not that great. But going back to this, again, not even to be able to have 10 rounds. So you're sitting on your farm in Texas, and you've got these illegals and or drug cartel members. They're coming in saying, look, We're taking over your barn, this barn over here, that barn over there. We're storing our drugs on there. And when we come back, every single item in there had better be present and accounted for, or we're killing you and all your family. Now, my question is this. Do you want to be sitting in your farmhouse with only 10-round magazines? Sure, you can maybe stack, a case or two of them up there and load them all up, but that's a pain in the butt, especially when you're fighting for your life. So that's the reason why I think, number one, restricting how many rounds you can have in drums and or magazines, I think is stupid, because it's dangerous for us people out here that can't get the help of the police within a minute or two. Then number two, the 22, the whole fact of, but if it's 22, you can have as much as you want. That's completely stupid. Does nobody remember when the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan? Guess what? He was shot 6 times with a 22, and he almost died. So my question is, of course, yeah, these are, our stupid lawmakers, our ridiculous, uneducated, sub-intelligent lawmakers. These guys are thinking, 22 is fine, you can do whatever you want. Well, let me tell you what, you can kill just as many people with a 22 as you can with any other ammunition and or rifle, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. So I just think that's stupid. That's just they're going, hey, that's our little olive branch, is to allow 22 calibers to basically do whatever. Okay, just shut up. That's just all complete stupidity. So, I understand people are upset about the whole, this whole situation going down. But again, let me just reiterate, the whole drum, belt-fed magazines, all that stuff, it's just completely ridiculous. Because again, the drums 9 times out of 10 are going to stick. And then, forcing people to be stuck with 10 rounds of ammunition with every gun that they have, that's just a bad idea, and it's asking for problems. Especially in the rural communities when the police are not around and they can't be relied upon, and even the military can't be relied upon to get there in any decent amount of time. So, anyway, moving on. 979-31-TALK-6. 979-31-TALK-6. Roseanne Barr apologizes for blasting Chick-fil-A and calling Christians liars. Well, as many of you saw on my page, I posted that whole deal about Roseanne Barr, what she said about how people that eat Chick-fil-A should get cancer. And this just brought up a whole bunch of other feelings with me. I try to tell you people this a lot. I try to tell everybody this a lot. But, I keep telling them this is not going to be long until Christians are going to be openly attacked on what they believe in. And this is just a perfect example of what I've been trying to tell you. And that is exactly it. Christians have been attacked for their belief. Their business has been picketed. Their ability to make money in certain cities has been thwarted. Now, what kind of freedom is that? And all of you atheists and everybody else there that's not a Christian, y'all all get mad at me whenever I say that, Christians are attacked in this day and age, and we're the ones we're everybody's redheaded stepchild. Y'all all get mad at us and say, oh, no, that's not true, that's not true. Well, it's right here in front of you. It's right here in front of you. You're seeing it in the media. You're seeing it on Facebook. You're seeing it on Twitter. Tell me that it's not true. Call me up and tell me, Keith, it's not true. What you're saying is not right. That stuff on Facebook, that stuff in the media, that's all made up. It's not real. Well, let me tell you what, my fellow Christians and my fellow non-Christians, it is real. And I'm not saying that everybody that's a non-Christian is the one that's doing it, but I'm just sitting here highlighting a fact that Christianity is under attack at this very moment. And it is real. It's not made up. It's not hyperbole. You have 2 mayors from Chicago and Boston that are actively barring a company from doing business in their respective cities because of the personal beliefs of the owner/CEO. So where does that stop? If mayors can punish you because of your personal beliefs, what are you to do? When government can help or harm you for your personal thoughts and ideas, this is a horrible and scary thing. Because it basically means that you're not free to believe and practice your religion, or having dissenting opinions unless it's blessed by your community's leaders. Where's the media outrage? Huh? Where? They're protecting the gay and lesbian activists, but not the Christians. And before you try to tell me that gay marriage is a civil right issue, I'm going to tell you to stop it right there. Because it's not. Keith, what are you talking about? It's not. Because you're saying that marriage should be changed to include same-sex partners only. Now, here are two problems with your idea. Okay? Anthropologists generally define marriage as surrounding exclusive sexual rights and propagation of offspring. Same-sex couples can't propagate fully. They have to have outside help by definition. Yeah, sure, there are some straight couples that can't have kids, but in an optimal situation, they would have been able to, because one is a male and one's a female. Then going a step further, look, Western civilization, okay? This is where we live. It's the origination of our society's norms. We're not Asia. We're not the Middle East. We're not Europe. But Western civilization has defined marriage as that between a man and a woman. You're seeking to change this. And I'm leaving out the whole religious aspect of it. We're talking about secular issues here, okay? Now, the second part of the problem, if you were to tell me, hey, Keith, we're going to change the definition of marriage because it's not inclusive enough, and you told me, hey, instead of cracking the door open just a bit more to include same-sex marriage, but we're also going to include polygamy, group marriage, as well as the ability to marry anything from inanimate objects to animals, I'd agree with you and say, yes, it's a civil rights issue. As the gay and lesbian community is putting it forth now, it only addresses a very small part of the community instead of throwing the door completely open and allowing everyone the ability to marry. Now, I do think that there are reasons for people to have some kind of unions. Legal reasons, wills, powers of attorney, you name it. Everyone should have this ability. I myself, I am not married. I've never been married. I wrestle with these type of issues because I don't have much family left. And when it boils down to it, I have to look at things like that. Well, who's going to have my power of attorney? Who's gonna take over my estate once I pass away? Who's gonna tell the doctor to pull the plug in any particular situation? Even I need this, and I'm not gay. So, whatever you want to call it, civil union, whatever, I don't know, a partnership, I don't know. You can have your ability to do that and have all the legal blessings of a marriage. That's fine. I don't have any issue with that. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to change something that has very specific definitions and has always had very specific definitions. It's like you're trying to change football or basketball. You're basically saying, hey, look, I'm not good at football and I'm not good at basketball, but I want to get on the court and I want to play. So I want to be in the NBA. And I can't jump worth a crap. I can't shoot worth a crap. But I don't care what you have to do. But you better change the rules so that I can get on an NBA team, so that I can be paid $175,000 a year or more, or a couple of million a year, or whatever. But I want the ability to get out there and be on TV and play in the NBA, and I want everybody cheering for me. Yeah, I know I suck, and that's okay, but I still want them cheering. I still want to get paid, and I still want to be in the NBA. I don't care how you do it. Get it done now. It's basically what you're saying. Okay? Now, You can disagree with me, and that's fine. We have the ability to disagree. But if you really look at it from the big picture, if you'll step way back and look at it, you'll realize what you're trying to do. Now, I don't understand. I'm a very individualistic person. I like to be different than everybody else. So if I happen to be gay, I wouldn't want to be married. Because here's the thing. I'd be looking at marriage and I'd be like, hey, man, marriage is about a man and a woman. And this is not, this is not about a man and a woman in whatever situation this is. So I'd be like, I don't want to be that. I want to be my own thing. So I would create something new. I would create something different. But for some odd reason, gay people don't want to do that. They just want to take over something else that's completely different from what they want to do, and they just want to turn it into that. And it makes no sense. I'm not hating on you. I'm not trying to say that you can't do something. Yes, you can go and be with somebody. That's fine. I'm not trying to say you can't. I'm trying to say give you all the legal abilities and everything that anybody else would have in a regular marriage. Give that to them. Just make it something that, we can talk about, and this is what it is. This is the definition right here. This is what it's called. This is what it entails, and this is what it allows these people to do legally, and they're together and all that good fun stuff. Just don't call it marriage. Because it's not. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. 979-31-TALK-6. If you want to get mad at me, yell, scream, and holler, that's fine. Go ahead. If you want to tell me you agree with me, if you want to try to give me a different idea or give me a different point of view, go ahead. Great. 979-31-TALK-6. Well, that's basically my show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it made you a little bit mad. I hope it made you laugh a little bit. And I hope it made you a little bit happy. But here at the Underground Bunker, we are going to have a great weekend. And I hope I loaded you up and got you cock locked and ready to rock. Go out there and drop some knowledge bombs on people. Just go out there, do a great thing. Do something nice for somebody. Do a good deed or 10. Just go out there, be good people, and educate everybody you can. All right, guys. Y'all have a great one. It's been a good day here at the New Republic. I'm out.
Lords, can it be mistakes throughout the constant vows of the lost and gone, blind and wrong? A faith without a hope, a fire that is cold, but grows so well. Who's to tell about it all? A nation cannot see the hardest part to take is not for me. Dying tree. Play